So you've got a great idea for an online course and you have an audience to sell it. Logic dictates that the next step is to create that course, right? Well, hold up, not so fast. Online courses take a lot of time and effort to create, so you don't want to go into that process without validating your course, without knowing for sure that people want it and that people are going to buy. In today's video, I'm showing you how you can quickly validate your course idea and pre-sell it, aka get some sales in before you create it. That way you can walk into the course creation process being absolutely certain that this is something somebody wants and that people are going to buy. This is the best place for course creators, digital entrepreneurs, and business owners who are ready to grow and scale their online course business. So if that is you, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell to be notified every Friday when a new video goes live. My name is Brie Kirbyson, and I went from working my butt off at super unfulfilling minimum wage jobs to being my own boss and getting paid to do what I love. But when I was just beginning my business, my first ever course launch actually flopped. Yep. It happens to all of us. And the main reason it happened to me was because I didn't validate my course. I came up with a course idea that I thought was amazing, and I dove straight into creating it. The problem was it didn't fit in with what my audience wanted, so when I finally launched, I only had a single sale, and I do not want that to happen to you. So before you get started, you're going to need two specific things. Number one is an idea. And an idea for a course that specifically solves a problem or pain point of your target audience. Now, if you don't have an idea yet and you need some help coming up with one, check out this video here where I walk you through my profitable course idea brainstorming exercise so you can find what you're good at and what sells. And the second thing you'll need is an audience so you can sell your course to. Ideally, this is an email list, but a social following, a Facebook group, or something like that can also work. But you do need an audience, even if it is a small one. If you don't have an audience yet, check out this video here where I walk you through step-by-step how you can grow your email list to your first 1,000 subscribers. But if you have those two things, let's dive right in. So step number one of the validation process is to write an outline of your course that you plan on creating. So what will you be covering in this course? You want to outline every single different section, every module, every lesson, and what is going to go into each one. What are the outcomes that somebody's going to get from following your advice, from learning, going through the lessons, and implementing? All of these things should be included in your course outline. Now, you want to make sure you know exactly what you're teaching and exactly what those outcomes are. You also want to make note of what kind of content each piece of your lesson plan will be. So is it going to be majority video content? Is it going to be screen sharing? Is it going to be PDFs, audio? Make a note of that and put that next to each lesson. This whole outline should be quite detailed and cover the entire scope of your course. Step number two is to write a short sales page or sales letter outlining what is in your course and what the outcomes are. So this sales page or the sales letter should have a few key things. First, it should tell what is inside the course and what format. Second, what pain points does it solve? What struggles does it help somebody overcome? And what outcomes do they get from completing it? Or in other words, what transformation does it help your student to achieve? Now, people don't buy products, they buy transformations, they buy the outcome. They buy that future version of themselves that they're going to be, or that future thing, whatever it is that your course gets them. That is what they're buying. They're not buying a course, they're not buying the features of it, they are buying that transformation. And you really want to make sure this is included in your sales page because this is what sells people on it. You also want to include who exactly it's for. At this point, if you have an audience, you should know specifically who they are, what their life looks like, what their hopes and dreams are, and what they're struggling with. So this needs to be super clear, and you should outline in your sales letter who exactly it's for. You also want to include the time frame that you will complete it in. So since you're going to be pre-selling this course before you create it, you want to give your potential customers an idea of what they can expect. So if you think you can have the course done in the next 4 weeks or 6 weeks or whatever it is, then mention that so they know what to expect from you. And lastly, you want to include the price that you're offering it to them for. These are all important elements that somebody looking at your course is going to have to consider whether they want to invest. Now, your sales letter, your sales page, whatever it is, you can go either way. But whatever you choose, it does not have to be fancy. It can just be simple. This is your minimum viable product. It doesn't have to be crazy. In fact, I've done mine, first of all, through a Google Doc and then just sent that on to people in my audience to see what they think of it. The whole idea is to get it done and get it out there. If you haven't created your course yet, what is it that's holding you back? Is it this fear that people won't buy it after you create it? Or is it the tech that's holding you back? Share in a comment below because I would love to see what you're struggling with so I can continue to create content that helps you solve the things you most need help with. Step number 3 is to send your sales letter and course outline to a segment of your audience. Now, the whole point here is we want to get a subset of your audience to say an enthusiastic yes to your program before you decide if you're creating it or not. And that's because, you know, it's easy to show something to somebody and they go, oh yeah, like that looks great. People want to be polite, they want to be nice. But when it comes for them to come and pull out their credit cards, you might find that a lot of people go quiet if it's not something they actually want. So how do you know if people are being polite or if they actually want your course? Well, you do that by sending them an explanation of what your course is and then asking for the sale. So depending on the size of your audience, you might want to send it to all of them or just a segment. So if you have a larger email list or audience, you can send this to a segment of your most engaged followers or subscribers. So these are the people that are always emailing, that are always opening your emails, that are commenting on your social media posts. Those are the people you want to hit up because those are your biggest fans and they are most likely to say yes. So I would aim for at least 100 or a few hundred people to send this to in your first round. If you have a small audience, if you only have 100 subscribers, then you can go ahead and try sending it to all of them. But the key here is to get a mass of people to see it and to see who says yes. Step number 4 is to ask for the sale. This is the most important part. After you've sent your outline and your sales letter to your audience, you need to ask them to buy. So before you do that, make sure you have a payment page set up or a buy now button somewhere on your site where they can enroll in the course. So don't beat around the bush, show them what you're offering and then ask them to buy. Now, why would somebody buy a course that you haven't even created yet? Well, there are a few different but very powerful reasons. First is a discount. So since this hasn't been created yet, you normally offer it to your audience at a highly discounted price. They basically become your beta testers or your founding members of your course. And for doing that, for taking that risk, they do get a price that is lower than what you do plan on offering it once you do a full launch. Second is feedback. Since they are in your founding group, they usually get a chance to give their feedback so you can craft the course in a way that solves their biggest problems. This is incredibly valuable for anybody because it helps them get a tailored solution to whatever they're struggling with. And number 3 is that they get direct feedback. You'll be communicating back and forth as you drip out your course content, as you create it, and seeing what your first members think of it. How are they doing? How are they getting results? All of these things, this back and forth will make them feel looked after and that you are really there for them. And that is also incredibly, incredibly valuable. And with all of these bonuses for them, it is a win-win for both sides. They get all of this added value at a discounted price and you get to validate your course and know that it's going to sell before you put in all that effort. Step number 5 is to decide if you are creating your course or if you reiterate. After you send out your offer, you're going to quickly get a sense of whether people are into it, whether people are going to buy or not. So give it a few days, send a couple emails reminding them to check it out. After that, you want to consider, did you get enough pre-sales to feel comfortable creating the course? Now, there is no magic number for how many sales, how many people you need to get enrolled in order for this to work, but whatever you feel comfortable with. A general rule of thumb is 1 to 2%. So if you send it out to 100 people and 5 people buy, you're pretty good. You're good to go, and I would be very confident in creating that course. But if you send it out to 100 people and one person buys, I would be a little bit more careful. You're not sure if people actually want this. So if it does work, if you get those pre-sales, you can go ahead and start creating that course. But if it didn't get the sales, then it is time to reiterate. Survey your audience, ask them questions in email, and see how you can help them solve their biggest pains and problems. Once you've done that, come up with a new course idea, and then you go through the 5 steps again. You come up with an idea, you write your outline, you write your sales page, and then again present it to your audience until you get something that validates that you know is going to sell. This process is all about tweaking and reiterating, but don't give up. This happens to everybody, and it's just a part of the process. But if you are stuck coming up with an idea for your course, or you don't know what your expertise is, I've created an incredible free guide to help you through the process. Check out the Profitable Online Course Idea Starter Kit, and I will walk you through the entire process of coming up with profitable course ideas, coming up with a name, and validating it so you know if it's going to sell. Also, if you want to join a community of course creators and digital entrepreneurs just like you, I'd love to invite you to join my free exclusive Facebook group, the Course Boss Club. Inside, you not only get access to an amazing community, but I will be in there every day of the week dropping tips and knowledge bombs on how you can grow and scale your online course business. Again, you can join that in the link in the description below. Check out these videos next on how you can take your online course business to the next level. And if you like this video, please hit the like button, hit subscribe, and share it with a friend who could also benefit.